Chapter 10. America is Too Great for Small Dreams. Ronald Reagan. The wild dolphin spins and twists in a joyful dance before our underwater camera. Jojo loves being filmed, particularly since he can acoustically see the motors and gears of the movie camera turning inside its housing. His pectoral fins flapping in obvious delight, he opens his mouth in a broad dolphin grin and giggles, releasing a buoyant stream of bubbles that rise in an iridescent cascade toward the surface. Jojo lives and plays in the pale turquoise waters of the Turks and Caicos Islands. No one knows where this solitary bottlenose dolphin came from, nor why he has such a strong affection for people. For reasons of his own, Jojo prefers human companionship over life in a dolphin pod. To find out more about this unique dolphin, Jean-Michel Cousteau brought our small flying team to investigate. The Princess Alexandra Land and Sea Park is Jojo's home. The eastern border of the park is a long white sand beach with a sprawling Club Med resort. Jojo shares his domain with a multitude of people: swimmers, water and jet skiers, windsurfers, and scuba divers. One of his favorite activities is playing buoy bash with the local kids. They sit on anchor buoys while Jojo charges and knocks the buoy out from under them. To see kids flying through the air beyond the pier is a sure sign that Jojo is in a playful mood. Because of all his human activity, there are some who worry for Jojo's well-being. Yet, how do you realistically protect a wild animal without restricting its freedom? The source of this dilemma is not long in arriving at the bow of our chartered vessel, Island Diver. I thought that Jojo, like most wild dolphins, would ride the bow wave of our boat. Instead, he disappears beneath the stern. Billy Ratty, the captain of Island Diver, slows the engines. "You're not going to believe what Jojo is doing right now," the captain says with a grin. Intrigued, I don a face mask and flippers, then slip over the side. Island Diver has two large propellers, each almost 3 feet in diameter. Incredibly, Jojo is boldly swimming between the spinning propellers, dashing from one to the other, hovering just inches from the swirling blades. I instantly understand people's fears for the survival of this crazy dolphin. When I return to the surface for a breath of air, Captain Bill shouts, "Playing with spinning propellers is not only dangerous, no, not the only dangerous thing Jojo does. He also likes to play chicken with ski boats." Jojo suddenly surfaces next to me and chirps happily. He also enjoys knocking over novice skiers, which probably explains that scar over his left eye. Bill adds cheerfully. Feeling a sharp nudge in the small of my back, I spin about. Jojo is smiling as he backs away. It is the kind of smile that lures me to play. He loves to play tag, Bill says with a grin, but you'll never catch him. I lunge at Jojo, who twitters happily, then circles me twice at warp velocity before diving out of sight. Taking a deep breath, I plunge in pursuit, swimming downward at my maximum speed of about 3 miles per hour. I am an easy target for the torpedoing dolphin. He charges at 30 miles an hour plus, feigns left, then does a twisting backflip that results in a soft touch in the center of my back. 15 minutes later, I'm floating exhausted on the surface with my tired legs hanging like wet noodles. Jojo is 5 feet away, daring me to catch him with shrill squeaks and twitters. Suddenly, there is an abrupt splash, and something is thrown into the water. Glancing up, I see one of our underwater scooters floating several feet away. Michael Delory, our cinematographer, is grinning from the back of the boat. Maybe that will even the odds a bit. Michael offers. She offers with a smile. An underwater scooter looks and works exactly like a miniature torpedo. I grab the handles, then face Jojo, who is chirping confidently about 10 feet away. Jamming the accelerator to maximum, I shoot straight at the elusive dolphin. Jojo's shock is obvious as he sees me hurling towards him at 3 times human swimming speed. I reach out and almost touch Jojo, but at the last second he goes ballistic, straight up. Jojo rockets completely out of the water, does a forward flip, and comes down behind me. It's impossible to shake that fast approaching nose. I dodge right, then do a quick left wing over and shoot for the bottom. A rubbery muzzle taps my back twice, then twice more, just so I know who is really the master of this game. We spend an incredible month capturing JoJo's playful personality on film. In all that time, no matter how hard I tried, I could never touch that crazy dolphin. That is, until the last day of the expedition. Jojo and I are resting beneath the stern of the boat. I've just lost another extended game of tag. The scooter, its battery packs completely worn out, now hangs tethered to the boat. Jojo is floating in front of me, just beyond arm's reach. He is making soft, restive clicking noises. He looks so tired. I began to hum him a lullaby in my best Mickey Mouse voice. Jojo seems to like the high-pitched sound and inches a little closer. Instantly, I want to touch him, but I don't. This is a very special moment, and I don't want to frighten him away. Though Jojo loves people, he knows to be leery. Earlier this year, a teenager purposefully dropped a lit cigarette into Jojo's blowhole. It's hard for me to imagine that someone would do something so cruel to such a wonderful and unique creature. Yet I also wonder why kids shoot each other with guns. It is the number 2 killer of children in America. So I remain very still, humming the Disney theme song. Then Jojo does a very amazing thing. He edges closer, softly nuzzles his muzzle under my arm, and goes to sleep. Dolphins don't sleep like most mammals, since they must surface to breathe and always be alert for sharks. They swim very slowly, with one eye closed, while half of their brain sleeps at a time. With a sleeping dolphin in my arms, I swim a few feet to the surface where he can breathe effortlessly. Momentarily, both Jojo's eyes look at me. Then he offers a trusting smile, and the eyes slowly close together. Floating in the calm water with a sleeping dolphin in my arms, I watch the red orb of the sun sink into the sea as the passionate colors of the sunset play in a wet reflection on his back. Slowly the twilight fades to darkness, bringing out a multitude of twinkling stars on the horizon. On the horizon, a crest moon washes a fleet of clouds with its pale lunar light. Despite the tropical warmth of the water, I shiver slightly. Jojo stirs and opens his eyes. I softly rub under his chin as Jojo chirps his appreciation. Then, taking a deep breath, he dives downward. His descending passage excites the fluorescence of the water, which fills his wake with sparkling blue light. Like a streaking comet, I watch the fiery wake arching off into the distance. Then the fluorescent trail, like the fading twinkle of pixie dust, dims to darkness, and I'm alone in the dark water. My excitement is hard to contain as I climb onto the boat to call my wife Cindy on the ship-to-shore telephone to tell her that a wild dolphin had actually fallen asleep in my arms. "That's impossible!" exclaimed Cindy in utter astonishment. "No wild animal could put its nose in your smelly armpit and go to sleep." The next day I'm sitting in a window seat of our departing plane. As the aircraft banks over the tiny islands, I see what looks like a dolphin shadow slipping up beneath a novice water skier. Beyond the unsuspecting skier, the turquoise waters of the Caribbean Ocean extend as far as the eye can see. I think that one of the wonders about Jojo is his unlimited freedom. He can go outside the dolphin norm to choose human friends as he desires and can live anywhere he likes, even off the end of a pier at a busy Caribbean dive resort. We too are incredibly lucky in the freedom shines in America. We are free to worship God as we please, and our fortunes and adventures are only limited by our imaginations. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord, the people he chooses for his inheritance. Psalm 33, verse 12. Ours is a land that favors bold, inquisitive people with high hopes and aspirations. The challenge is simply to reach out and attempt to touch our dreams. There are those I know who will reply that the liberation of humanity, the freedom of man and mind is nothing but a dream. They are right. It is the American dream. Archibald MacLeod.